YouTube thinks that my channel is like the Young Turks. My channel is nothing like the Young Turks. Hi, thanks for watching. So today it's Friday, Fact Check Friday, and so here I am checking the facts again. Today I'm going to do something a little differently. Usually I will fact check an article that's been published, but today I'm going to try to do a video, and I'm going to do a video from the Young Turks. Now, why are you looking at the Young Turks, Tom? Well, when I go to my channel, YouTube has related channels, and they let you know what channels that it thinks are similar to your own channel. Now, for my channel, Coffee and Nuance, the related channels are the Young Turks, Styx Hexenhammer, Actual Justice Warrior, and Matt Christensen. Well, the last three I can understand. I subscribe to those channels. They're great guys. They put out a lot of awesome content. But they list the Young Turks as being a related channel to me. Well, that's just not true. Now, I used to like the Young Turks. I think a lot of people used to like the Young Turks, but things have changed over at that network, and their views have changed, and how they report on things change. And I still like Jimmy Dore. I'm not sure why he's still on the network. I decided to look into their channel, so I chose a video. This is from Anna Kasparian. She has a show on there called No Filter. And this video is called Anna Exposes Turning Point USA. So I've never done a video critique on another video before. And I've looked at other people that have done it online, and they seem to play the whole video and they stop it and make comments about it and go back to it. And I didn't really want to do that because this video is like 11 minutes long. And then if I keep stopping it and commenting on it, it's going to be a half hour, and who wants that? So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to sum up what she says. And what a lot of people do when they sum up someone they don't agree with, they'll really do a bad faith interpretation of what they're saying. I am trying not to do that. I'm going to give you my best interpretation of what her point is. And if I don't get it right, please call me out in the comments. It is not my goal to misrepresent any point. This video that Anna Kasparian has done, this is an expose on Turning Point USA, a conservative website, and their professor Watchlist, where they list professors that they have an issue with.
We will specifically focus on how Turning Point seeks to intimidate professors and destroy academic freedom, all under the facade of free speech.
So she goes on to say that they list people on it like a sex offender registry.
Similar to what you'd find in a sex offender registry.
You know, like a phone book is like a sex offender registry. A directory is like a sex offender registry. A yearbook is like a sex offender registry. Isn't that just a really biased way of saying it's a list of people?
And the sourcing that the site provides for so-called evidence usually leads to a non-news right-wing organization like Breitbart.
And she talks about the sourcing and says that it goes to a right-wing site, right? Well, what she neglects to say, if she actually went to the website herself, she would see that not only does it list the right-wing article about it, but it also lists the original source material. So you can go look at the original source yourself and judge it for yourself. But that wouldn't sound really good if she said, something like, oh, and the complaints about the professors, well, they list a Breitbart article as well as all the original source material so that you can go through it and read it and judge for yourself. She omitted that part. I wonder why.
All one needs to do is publish anything that can be labeled progressive, and Turning Point USA will retaliate by including them on a list complete with personal details.
So she makes a big deal about these personal details. Well, what are these personal details? Dr. Arthur Kaplan is a distinguished professor of bioethics at New York University. Okay, so they've given the name and the school he teaches at. Anna Kasparian is being critical of this Turning Point USA and their professor watch list. And rather than talk about why the professors are on this watch list, right, which is probably what you should do, She instead kicks it to another media report where they interview someone on the watch list who's like, "Oh, I've been put on a list. It's horrible."
CBS Chicago highlights the story of one professor who's been targeted.
This DePaul University administrator made the list, he says, unfairly.
Well, why are they on the list? Well, I can go to the source material and find out for myself. He links to an article about whites no longer majority in U.S. schools, and he puts in his own comment, "Happy to have contributed to this milestone with my 4 children, smiley face." I don't know about you, but this guy kind of sounds like a jerk. And he doesn't seem to have a problem with posting this stuff on his Twitter. In fact, he's so proud of it, it's still there today. And this is 4 years ago. So obviously, these types of views he's cool with. And that's what happens in 2018, right? You post things on social media, other people don't like it, they don't like what you're posting, and they highlight it. And that's what this Professor Watchlist is it is highlighting professors acting in ways that most people may not care for.
I specifically wanted to highlight the story about psychology professor Johnny Williams from Trinity College.
Well, Professor Williams links to a story on Twitter, and he didn't publish the story, he just linked to it. But it's still linked to it today. And there is a disclaimer at the beginning of the article that says, "This essay is in the context of bigotry and is speaking about bigots. If you aren't a bigot, then it doesn't apply to you." Now, that's all well and good, but throughout this entire essay, it just talks about white people. It doesn't say bigoted white people. It just says white people. And the essay concludes, "So if you see them drowning, if you see them in a burning building, if you see them teetering off the edge of a cliff, if their ships are sinking, if their planes are crashing, if their cars are skidding, if they're overdosing, if their hearts have tellingly arrested, if they are choking in a restaurant, if they're bleeding out in an emergency room, if the ground is crumbling beneath them, if they are in a park and they turn their weapons on each other, do nothing. Let them effing die." Well, one could infer, if Professor Williams is endorsing this essay, he is essentially saying, if you're a cop, a firefighter, a nurse, a doctor, and there's someone that needs help, well, if they're a bigot, let them die. Or let them effing die. I don't know about you, but I kind of have a problem with this rhetoric. This isn't the world that I want to live in. You know, if someone's in need, I'm going to help them. I'm not, whether or not they're a bigot, right? I want to help anyone that's in needs. But I guess we just have different values. But for linking to this article, they've put Professor Williams on a watch list. And I can understand why.
Just listen to how Fox News defends Turning Point USA after an NYU professor was included on Turning Point USA's watch list because he criticized Trump on Twitter.
Really? They're mad because he criticized Trump on Twitter? That's why he's on the watch list? No. He's on the watch list because of the countless references to Hitler that he made. And this rhetoric such as, all Trump is missing are brown shirts. Folks, Trump is right on the Hitler flight path. Now, I think comparing people to Hitler, not that cool. And if you choose to do it and get put on a list for doing so, well, it's kind of understandable. Now, remember, these 3 professors, Anna chose them. She could have chosen any of the professors to make her case. These are the 3 that she chose. And upon looking at the source material, it's pretty understandable why each of these professors is on a list. It's understandable why people would have a problem with each of these professors. I don't think she made the case. What I do think, though, is the way that she reported it in the video was somewhat inaccurate. And I welcome anyone to check out the original video and judge for yourself. Now, I have nothing against Anna Kasparian. She's good at reading a teleprompter. As far as reporting goes, she seems to be a bit biased. And that's why I wanted to bring up the Young Turks today, because YouTube is saying that we either share the same audience or, according to their algorithm, we're very similar. We're not similar at all. I really want to get to the truth. And it seems to me that that's the opposite of what the Young Turks wants to do. Now, if the Young Turks wanted to hire someone that would look for the truth, give me a shout. I'm here. But in the meantime, just know that our channels are nothing alike. But let me know what you think. What was my analysis of her analysis? Let me know in the comments. Peace. Help me reach my goal of 1 million of 2,000 subscribers by clicking the like button and subscribing. Thanks.